A young pilot flying over the ocean suddenly radioed air traffic control with a disturbing message. He said something strange was circling his plane, but radar couldn't detect anything in the sky. Minutes later, the radio went silent, and both the pilot and his aircraft vanished forever. This is the mysterious disappearance of Frederick Valentich. The young pilot, Frederick Valentich, was a 20-year-old pilot living in Australia. He had always been fascinated with aviation. Friends described him as passionate about flying and determined to build a career as a professional pilot. Frederick spent countless hours studying aircraft and practicing his skills in the air. But he also had another interest. He was deeply curious about unexplained aerial phenomena. Stories about strange objects in the sky fascinated him. However, nothing in his life suggested that curiosity would soon become part of one of aviation's strangest mysteries. On October 21, 1978, Frederick Valentich took off from a small airport near Melbourne. He was flying a Cessna 182, a small single-engine aircraft. His destination was King Island, located across the water in the Bass Strait. The flight should have been routine. Weather conditions were clear, and the journey was expected to take only a short time. But during the flight, something strange happened. About halfway through the trip, Frederick contacted air traffic control. His voice sounded calm but confused. He asked the controller if there were any other aircraft flying near his position. The controller checked radar and replied that there were no other planes in the area. But Frederick insisted something was nearby. He described a large object flying above him. At first he thought it might be another aircraft, but then he began describing unusual movements. The object was moving quickly. It was circling his plane, and it had bright lights. Air traffic control still saw nothing on radar. Frederick continued describing what he was seeing. At one point, he told the controller something chilling. "It's hovering, and it's not an aircraft." His voice began to sound more nervous. Then the radio transmission suddenly changed. A strange metallic sound came through the communication channel. The sound lasted for several seconds. Then complete silence. Frederick Valentich never spoke again. When Frederick failed to arrive at his destination, authorities immediately launched a search operation. Planes and boats combed the waters of the Bass Strait. Rescue teams searched for days. They were hoping to find wreckage, debris, or any sign of the missing aircraft. But nothing was found. No pieces of the plane, no oil slick, no evidence of a crash. It was as if the aircraft had completely disappeared. The theories. Over the years, many theories have attempted to explain what happened. Some investigators believe Frederick may have become disoriented while flying over the ocean at night. It's possible he could have mistaken lights from the water or nearby reflections for another aircraft. Others believe mechanical failure could have caused the plane to crash into the ocean. But there are also those who believe something far stranger happened. Frederick's final radio transmissions, describing a mysterious object, have led many to speculate about unidentified flying objects. However, no evidence has ever confirmed that theory. More than 4 decades later, the disappearance of Frederick Valentich remains unsolved. A young pilot reported something strange circling his aircraft. Moments later, his plane vanished. No wreckage was ever found, and the mystery of what Frederick Valentich saw in the sky that night may never be solved.